Hello, welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. Today's video, I got a COMC order back today, so I'm going to show that off. I also got some cards in the mail. It was a big mail day. I'm going to hold off until Wednesday to show my mail cards. I got another package coming tomorrow, so I'm going to keep all that for another separate video. And with my COMC order, I really rushed it back. I got some other cards back, like 20 cards, but I got one card that I wanted back in my hands. It's the card I spent the most on ever for a card. It's not worth the most. I have cards that are worth more that I got great deals on or graded high, but this is the card that I paid the most for raw. So I'll show you that in a little bit. And all those cards in the back have something to do with this order. So the first card is a card that nobody cares about, but this is awesome for my Smith's PC. This is a Tiffany Fleer, 97.98. So I needed that one. There's not a lot more Smith's cards I need besides if they're like really short printed from his playing days, or if they're like European issues. So whenever I see one of those, I have to pick it up. Here is a Hall of Fame rookie card. And not a lot of people collect football. These are cards I would have graded in the past, but I'm not going to grade this one. There's just a lot of them out there. And really, I mean, it's off-centered. It's just going to go into my binders. And like cards like this, like I'm picking it up to replace my graded versions. So I'm going to sell that guy, keep this one. This card is in amazing shape. It looked perfect from the images and perfect in person. I hardly see any white with the green. I mean, this is a beautiful, and they're still out there, right? These 1989 score rookie, just so many of them for the Aikman, for the Sanders. So no need. I mean, $11. I don't need to spend the same price grading it. Here's a Whitey Herzog. Beautiful card for his rookie. Like all these, majority of these are binder cards. And if I see a seller selling something, like I saw this Frank Robinson, it was gorgeous. And then they were selling, and both these cards are amazing condition. They're selling the Maris as well. Here's a card. I think it's a high-ish number. A little stain on the back, but this is for my binder. I mean, these cards are just, when I find a good deal on them, when they're like half the price of the other ones available on COMC or eBay, I just pick them up. Here's a card I got for $14. 1952 Bowman, Bob Lemon. And if you look at there, there's a little, it's not a crease, it's a pretty big surface wrinkle that goes across. It doesn't go to the back of the card. But still, I mean, you don't really see those with the dark colors. Beautiful card. The only problem is like cards like this, like I don't like the way they look in top loaders. I know they make sleeves for them, and the card really isn't worth grading. Zion, please make some nice little vintage Zion Mag Pro cases. So in the background, I got this. I graded it in a 7. I shouldn't have graded it. I just want these cards for my top loader binder. And I just said, okay, well, I could crack that out, or I could just buy another one. Right, and this is what I'm looking for these Wheaties, the full blue border. And so I'm just going to throw that in a top loader in my binder, and now I'm going to sell that guy. That's what I'm kind of doing right now, just trying to get rid of a lot of the cards I should never have graded. And I always pick up these Wheaties cards when I can find them with the full borders. There's not a lot of them out there with the full borders. And speaking of this card here, right, on the Lake to Lake 1960, I found another one for $25. And no staple hole, no punch out. So always pick these up when I can. I was watching one of Mangini's videos, and of course, I see a card, and then I have to go buy one. So, the 1960 Leaf. Beautiful card. This one, I was waiting for the seller to offer a discount on it, but they wouldn't. They weren't taking offers. I finally just bought it. I was watching it for too long. It was 14 bucks. It's the O-Pee-Chee version, and it is gorgeous centering. These cards are so much nicer than the Topps ones, in my opinion. What else do I have? Oh, found this 64 Drysdale. Absolutely amazing. And this card, I need to put it in a vintage top loader, sticking out a little bit. This is the Larry Doby. Just a gorgeous card with the centering. This is what I'm looking for, just the nice image of the cards. Then I picked up a couple of autos. This is a 2001 Fleer, Monty Irvin, just perfect signature. So $18 I think I paid for that. So whenever I see those, I just keep on adding them to my Hall of Fame autograph PC. And speaking of that, here's a Robert Parrish. Got this for $14.25. Thought that was awesome. It's on card. This is the Panini Dominion, I believe. Yep. And this is kind of, I got a little thing I'm going to talk about. That's why I brought out that Robert Parrish. So at the end of the video, just talk a little bit about why I buy autos like this, and I do not like them on card, like his rookie card. And this is the big card. I paid $600 for this, and then I sent it to grading right away. And the card, I didn't care if it graded a 7, 8, 9. I just didn't want it to be like a 4 or 5, something that was just bent in half that I couldn't see from the images. So I bought it on COMC, sent it right off to CGC. The reason I didn't send it to SGC is it's a modern card, and I hate the black inserts with the modern cards. And so if you've been watching my channel, you probably know what this is going to be. But this is a 2011 Topps update. This is the Paul Goldschmidt, and this is the black. This is numbered 60 out of 60. So this is a pretty big card. He's playing great for the Yankees, a big Yankee fan. So when he signed with the Yankees, I just had to pick up a bunch of his cards. So very happy with that. And I actually picked up another card today on eBay, and this is kind of what I'm doing more and more of. I'm buying cards that are just more scarce. So I bought a card that actually even had a little bit of tape residue on the front for over $300, and it's a vintage card, but I'm sending it to SGC through COMC to have them grade it, right? So more of the scarce cards, and I was watching Double D. He had his beautiful 1938 Gaudis, the heads up there, his set, and those cards, so really for the 1930s, like really 33, 34 Gaudi are kind of like the only really kind of mainstream-ish, maybe like 39, 1940, the play ball, but not a lot of cards have a lot of universal hobby love, right? They're kind of seen as more these oddball type things. But recently, if you've been watching videos in the community, and I've been seeing this, that some of these cards are becoming more and more well accepted, right? Kind of like the Diamond Stars, the what is that? The 38 Gaudy heads up, right? There's a bunch of cards in the 30s. There's not many of them. And they're really starting to gain appreciation in the hobby. And by the way, though, there's not a lot of them from some of these sets. And all it takes is a couple of people to be interested in these things. And some of these counts, I mean, there's less than 100 graded on PSA and SGC combined. So there's a few cards that I'm looking out for, and hopefully I can pick up before they even double, triple in price. So kind of my discussion here, and this is kind of, I mean, what I've done in the past, right, is you grade a card like this that's very common. It gets a higher grade, so it has this artificial type of scarcity to it, right? Scarcity based upon the grade. And now what I see is people like Robert Parrish, if he's signing, what they do is they want to take, and this was taboo back in when I started collecting in the 90s, right? If you have a rookie card, you don't put an autograph on it. But now, since there's so many of these cards, and even high grades, there's a lot of them, people want to add more scarcity to the cards. So what they do is they're sending these cards to players like Robert Parrish, Bob Cousy, people that sign. They sign the cards, they get them slabbed, and they talk about the pop count, right? How low the pop count is. This is what I collect, right? 1425, I get a card that's meant to display the auto, and it's gorgeous, right? I do not, and I really don't think that these on-card autos, I think the market's going to be saturated with them. The ones that are going to be worth money are the on-card autos that were signed on cards with the player now being dead, right? So players that passed away, like Hank Aaron, right? Even he was signing quite a bit, like on cards and things like that. Mickey Mantle as well. But like a lot of cards that were signed by Hall of Famers that aren't alive anymore, they can't sign anymore. So those cards are going to be the ones that are going to be more sought after, right? And what I think is going to happen is so many of these cards are going to be cracked. They're going to be signed by the player. And what it's going to do, it's actually probably going to drive up the price of these cards that don't have the autos, since more and more are going to be cracked out, signed, and try to get a high grade with a high auto grade to make this card more scarce, right? And I think that's a lot of people are, I mean, they're just thinking about the hobby as scarcity, right? What I'm doing now is I'm actually starting to collect cards that are scarce. Not scarce because of the number, not scarce because of the auto. They're scarce because you go to eBay, there might not even be one of them on eBay. And that's when you know a card is scarce, when you go to eBay and you can't find it. So that is my mail day today. I'm just really happy to get these cards back in hand. And this is something else that a lot of people, they never even, like, first of all, they don't touch cards. But now a lot of people don't even touch slabs. Everything is done on the computer in vaults, right? So I actually got this graded, but I could have kept this card vaulted and I could have sold it without even ever touching it, right? But I wanted that card back in my hands, right? So that's why, like with COMC, like I'm not there to flip, I'm there to buy, and I'm there to get the cards back and to have fun with. I get to make, for my Zion Mag Pros, I get to put these in my own labels for my autograph collection, and I get to go through some of these and put those into my binders. So going to have some fun with that. So Wednesday, I'll have my other order from eBay. And in the comments below, let me know what was your favorite card from my COMC order. And again, always thank you for watching, and keep on collecting.